Hey, we're back at the topic again today with a very different video. But how is this video different? Well, that's because we are not doing this on a script. Oh, no, we're doing this straight from the brain because this is a dire topic, and I didn't want to have multiple stages for the medium from my brain to come out into this content. I just wanted it to go from my brain to the mic to the video. Like that. Bang. And why is that? Like I said, it's a dire topic. And this is about the Pokemon rivals. And we're going to take different stages in this video. We're going to talk about the good parts of a rival and the bad parts of a rival. Because if you did not know, the rival in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, it's not Blue. See, Blue was always that jerk that just pushed you to your limit. And the new one is just nowhere near that. So we're going to go ahead and get into this topic, but like I said, since this is not on a script, I will probably end up not necessarily stuttering, but like backpedaling in terms of words I use. I'm going to probably say and like a lot, so just bear with me, and there might not be too much editing in the video, so I just wanted to let you know that. So what is wrong with the rival? We're going to find that out today, though. Now, I want to touch back on what I was talking about in the intro, because with Blue being removed from Pokemon Let's Go, which is a pseudo-remake of Pokemon Yellow, which he was in that game, it's not really the best sign. And why is that? Well, we're going to go ahead and go over the 8 rivals. Most of these rivals are grouped together, like, for example, the group that you have in X and Y, and we're going to put them into 3 groups. The first one is competitiveness driven, the second one is goal driven, and the other one is friendship driven. And you see what their main mindset is in the game. And with the most recent rivals keeping a set theme, you can see what they're going to be doing. And I'm going to start off with the early rivals because I want to touch on a certain effect that has been, I wouldn't say plaguing another game, but it's affected certain characters. And I'm going to get to that. So we're going to start off with Blue. And the thing about Blue, and why everybody likes Blue, is that he would just show up completely out of nowhere. He would just, at the end of a cave or an objective, let's use the SSN as an example. You go through that entire ship, and the thing that you need to do, get to the pilot's deck or wherever he is, the pilot's room, something like that, and he's pretty much guarding it. You go up to that spot, he's there. And unless you didn't know this, you probably would not have gone to heal, which means your HP is low, and you are an easy prey, an easy challenge for him. And everybody seems to like that, and I can agree with that, honestly. Having that prey mentality, that vulture mentality for a rival really pushed you to your limits, because if you're running low on like HP and PP, that's something that you want to do. That's something that you can prove that you can achieve victory in the most dire of situations. But without that mechanic in the most recent games, it's just, I wouldn't say it's been a cakewalk, it just made it a lot easier. And since Blue was such a jerk, you just wanted to beat them. Like, the feeling of beating them for the first time, or rather in each time that you fight them, it's just, I would call it oddly satisfying. I don't know if there's a different word than that, but it just works out that way. And Blue is competitiveness driven by far, because he wants to prove that he can beat you. In what he says after you beat him in the Elite Four, spoilers, even though it's been out for 21 years. 22, sorry. Regardless, with what he says at the end of that championship battle, it proves that he also wants to beat you as well. And that's a key important thing when we talk about Silver. Silver was a little bit different now. The thing about Silver is that while he wants to beat you, he's more driven in proving people wrong. I guess I'd call that a goal-driven rival there. But the thing about him, he's an interesting character. I'll just put that out there. And why that is because the character progression he has during the game is really telling. Because at the very beginning of the game, he kicks your butt just completely out of that spot in the hedges in New Barktown, but then you end up teaming up with him to battle Claire and Lance in the Dragon's Den in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And the other key thing is he has a Golbat, right? And how Golbat evolves in the games is through friendship. And he has a Crobat in Mount Moon after that long period of time where you don't face him between Victory Road and then again in Mount Moon. So it's very interesting. But like I said, he acts like a jerk beforehand, he doesn't heal your Pokemon, and that's pretty much it. And the same thing can be said about May and Wally. May is a little bit of a dry rival, but I like to think the true rival is actually Wally, because he is pretty goal-driven. He wants to beat you. I don't believe May heals your Pokemon either. May is more of like just somebody to fill the shoes of the true rival, which is Wally, but I feel like Generation 3's rivals really just have that thing missing because there's no true rival. You have May in the first half and then Wally in the second half, so I can't really say anything there. But with Barry can actually do things. And what are those things? Well, I know he can rub people the wrong way with his hyperactive, spazzy attitude. I know that for sure. The other thing is, while he's your friend, he can still fill that rival role that Blue and Silver had filled in the past. Just, I wouldn't say to the extent that they did. He pushes you, but not completely all the way. I feel like the spazzy attitude and the hyperactivity really makes people want him to be defeated. Now then, the second half of these rivals are really showing the theme of where Game Freak are putting the rivals at right now. So there is one exception, and I'll get to that, but the one effect from the other game that I want to explain is the Rossetti effect. If you have not played Animal Crossing ever, the Rossetti effect, that's kind of what I'm calling it, there really isn't a name for it, but it's something that I noticed, and many other people have noticed with Nintendo, is that they don't really like, I wouldn't call it a bully mentality, but it's more or less, they want to try to get the idea of somebody being mean to one another when they're supposedly supposed to be a quote-unquote friend. They just try to get rid of that. And what happened with Rossetti, early on in the Animal Crossing games, is that he was pretty mean. I'll tell you that much, because he would always yell if you would close out of your game without saving, and apparently they did not like that in the later games, especially also with the cranky villagers that could be in your town. I remember they could be mean and nasty, but that was their charm in my opinion. That's what gave them their charm. One of my favorite villagers is Apollo, and he is a cranky villager. I don't play too much Animal Crossing much anymore though. I'd like to, but it gets kind of boring. But continuing on, in later games such as New Leaf, you can completely just avoid the yelling part of Rossetti entirely if you just claim that your batteries have died. And even then, he does not yell at you or is nasty at you at all thereafter in the later games. I mean, to an extent, he can still yell, but it isn't as aggressive as it was in the earlier games. And that's what I'm noticing with the most recent rivals. People like Sharon and Bianca. Obviously, people like Generation 5. I do not, though. But if you want to know why, go ahead and check out the top 7 generations. I explain it more better there because that's actually scripted. That's only because that tends to begin the whole, here, let me heal your Pokemon, and then we'll battle. I mean, true, they're your friends, but really, it's not called a rival. It's not called, like, then that's not really a rival. Then that's just friends that you're traveling with. That goes for the same thing in X and Y when you're traveling with Serena. I forgot her name. The other girl that supposedly everybody thinks is a crush on you. Tierno and... Why can't I remember their names all of a sudden? I guess that's what happens when I'm put on the spot here. Regardless, you're traveling with them as well. And it's especially evident when you defeat Serena. Like, that just doesn't necessarily feel as good as when you defeated Blue or Silver. Or even Barry to an extent. It just does not feel good because it just feels like you're crushing her each time. And there's somebody actually made a comparison on Reddit like a long time ago. I guarantee you I probably can't find the link, but the comparison that they give is you are Blue and they are the main character from, let's just say, the early games. Because Blue always wanted to crush you, but you're crushing Serena or Calum if you're playing as the girl. You're just crushing their hopes and dreams, it seems like, every battle. That didn't necessarily feel good. I did skip over one rival from Generation 5, and that's Hugh, but that's only because I feel like Hugh was the last good rival. He wasn't all friendships and butterflies and rainbows and flowers around you. He wasn't. And he was goal-driven, even though it might have been, well, it's more personal of a goal, but it was still a goal he wanted to do. And that was his main focus. It wasn't just, I'm going to travel along with you. Hey, I want to battle. Have some healing. Let's battle, to make it completely easy. So I didn't really fit the other two in each group, or the other rivals. So, backpedaling a bit, I would like to say May and Wally are more, well, I don't know what May is, but I'll just say Wally's more goal-driven, or no, competitiveness-driven, because he wanted to beat you. Barry, I want to say was more friendship-driven, but he still at least filled that rival role a bit well, because with rivals, like I said, you want to beat them. With Sharon and Bianca, they're a little bit too much of a friend to you, if you know what I mean. And the same thing with the Serena and Caleb group from Generation 6, Pokemon X and Y. With Hugh, he was goal-driven. He was definitely goal-driven. I mean, theoretically, you wouldn't want, like, it wasn't just, I want to crush you, or let's have a friendly battle with him. Like, you were traveling with him, but at least you could watch his story evolve from there. And, like I said, it wasn't all happy-go-lucky friendship with him either. But how could you do this? Okay, I'll give him credit where credit is due. In Ultra Sun and Moon, at the very end, you could see how much he has grown. But in Pokemon Sun and Moon, it was like you were battling a flower. Really. Because it's like, hey, like, he just didn't care. He just didn't care, like, if you beat him. He's like, oh, okay, that's fine. I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion on the whole rival thing, but I really have not liked where the rivals have gone in recent games. And with the retcon, not really a retcon, but with the removal of Blue in Let's Go, which is supposed to be a pseudo-remake where Blue was in the remake, or the game that's being remade, which is Pokemon Yellow, it just bugs me. And that's the whole reason I'm making this video, to see how much the rivals have fallen off since the early games. I would like to look at it as a chart, and it's going down, 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 down. Maybe I should make a top 8 rivals list. I don't know. But the whole point of this video is just to explain what is wrong with the rivals. Let me know what you think of the whole rival situation and with the removal of Blue in Let's Go, which is the remake from Yellow, which he was in the game. And let me know if do you really think this is a Rossetti effect? This isn't a normal type of video that I post, but I really needed just to get this off my chest, just to get this out there that we can talk about, because like I've been saying, this video is completely unscripted. I am not talking about it. This video is not really edited that much. I just wanted to get my point across that GameFreak is making the rivals more of your friend, but is it too much? They're becoming basically just a friend and not a rival in the first place. Let me know in the video down below. I guess if you want more to talk about Pokemon or about its problems, maybe this could be a thing, I don't know. Let me know by dropping a like from the top, just so we can start the climb today, maybe, with this series. Or maybe it could be a one-off. Regardless, with that, I want to thank you for watching, and I want to thank you for listening, because who knows? Who knows what people might think of this. Like I said, though, with that, I want to thank you for watching and listening, and I hope to catch you back at the top later on, because that's how we do it.